This video is based on the price prediction and technical analysis of the South African index, which we also refer to as the SA Top 40 Index. And this particular index, by the way, is based on the top 40 companies on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. And yeah, without wasting any further time, everyone, let's get straight into the actual analysis. And as you guys know, we normally start off our analysis on the monthly chart and work our way down to about the H4 chart, right? Anyway, here we are on the monthly chart, and on the monthly chart we have some, I would say, interesting price action movement, where we can see that this level over here is the previous all-time high. Let me just actually mark it. Here we go. This is the previous all-time high, and it is quite possible, or very likely, that the market may head all the way to just above that level. And once price reaches that level, we may potentially see the market move further down to around this level over here. And why do I say this level? That is because we can also see that the market had given us a W formation here, right? And it has a neckline there. And as I always say, guys, remember, when we have these patterns, we want to see price ideally breaking to the upside of that structure, come back to the structure to give it a test, and at that level, which is now also a very strong level of support, we would look for potential buy opportunities, right? To add to this, the reason why I say that we may potentially see price reach this level and then push further down is also because the market had given us a double top here, and just like with W structures, when we have these, right, we want to see again price closing below the neckline, come back to the neckline, and there where we have the neckline is where we look for potential sell opportunities. However, we can see that at this point the market was not able to hold price at this level, and we saw the market actually disregard this level and push all the way up, right? So what may possibly happen now, as I said, is that price may push all the way to around there, and at that point we may potentially start to look for sell opportunities. And the reason why, or rather one of the reasons why price may push all the way to that level, is because, remember guys, when we have these double tops, quite often what happens is that traders and investors sell at that level and they place their stop losses at that point, right? So we have a lot of money stuck here in the form of stop losses, and as I said, we may potentially see the market at this level move further down to around here at the very least, right? Anyway, for now I'm just gonna add a neckline for that W structure, because not only is it a neckline for the structure, but it's also a very strong level of support at this point in time, right? Anyway, from here let's head down to the weekly chart, and I'm just gonna zoom in. And again, guys, just to recap in terms of what we said on the monthly chart, remember, on the monthly chart we spoke about how we had the double top here, and we have a lot of money stuck there in the form of stop losses, and we may potentially see the market move further up to trigger all of that liquidity. And then at that point again, we may see the market move further down to around this level, which is where we have the neckline, which is over here of this W structure, right? Anyway, here we are on the weekly chart. What else do we see at this point? At this point I don't see much, but we can see that the market has been playing in and around this area over here, right, which tells us that this area over here is a very strong level of resistance at this point in time. Having said that, just keep in mind that we have a lot of stop losses located here, and we may see a stop hunt to the upside to trigger all of those stop losses, and then at that point potentially see the market move further down to around this level, right? What else do we see in regards to the weekly chart? I don't see much really at this point. Let's have a look. Having said all this, guys, I also want to point out that remember guys, when it comes to these W structures, right here and here, right, a lot of investors and traders bought there and placed their stop losses at that level. Similarly, people bought here and placed their stop losses at this level, right? So what am I saying? What I'm saying in other words is that it's possible that in the future we may see the market actually move to this level to trigger those stop losses, and then again move further down to this level to trigger those stop losses again, right? Anyway, let's head down to the daily chart. and let's see what's happening in regards to the daily chart. When I add my channel, as I usually do, let's have a look. And in regards to the daily chart, and based on this channel, we can see that we are in a very strong upward trajectory, a strong upward momentum, and it confirms that for the most part we should be, in my very humble opinion, looking for potential buy opportunities. However, just bear in mind that on the weekly chart I said that the market at this level is at a very strong level of resistance, and it is also quite possible that at this point where price currently is, we may see a reversal of sorts, because as I said, we are at a very strong level of resistance. Also keeping in mind that we spoke about that area at the top that's carrying all of that liquidity, and that we may potentially see price move up there to grab that money and then potentially move further down to around this level, which is where we have the neckline, which is over here of this W structure. I hope you guys can see that, right? But let's zoom in and see what's happening in regards to the daily chart of this particular index. And on this chart we can see that we seem to have another double top here, possibly, and this would be the first leg and this would be the second leg, and it has a neckline more or less at this point, and it started here, right, more or less. And ideally we want to see price push further down to complete the structure and to close pretty much in line with where it would have started to complete that M structure or double top. However, having said that, remember that we also have this area over here. Remember, right, it's a very strong level of support at this point in time, and it's also the neckline of that W structure that we spoke about on the higher time frames, right? And we said that we may see price actually come to this level, and at that level we may again see the market move further up, right? But again, here we are on the daily chart, and as much as we have this structure over here, we also have a similar structure here as well, which again has a neckline there, and it is quite possible that price may move all the way down to at least here, right? However, we can also see that the structure actually started here, and we may actually want to see the market move to that level at least to complete that structure, right? So as you guys can see at this point in time, this index is very much mixed, as much as we have all these great structures. And at this point in time, just based on the daily chart, I would not buy or sell for that matter. And the best thing may be to actually wait for the market. If I can just go back to the weekly chart, right, the best thing may be to wait for the market to actually complete this last stop hunt to the top, and once price reaches this level, I would look for those potential double tops or triple tops, or even head and shoulders pattern. And in regards to double tops, I would look for sell opportunities on the second leg. In regards to triple tops, I would look for sell opportunities on the third leg. And in regards to head and shoulders patterns, I would wait for price to close, you know, below the neckline, which is over here, and then head back to the neckline to give it a test. And at that point is where I would look for potential sell opportunities, right? But just looking at the daily chart at this point in time, it is quite choppy and mixed, as much as we have all of these great structures. And let me just actually go back to the daily chart, right? Remember guys that I said we have a neckline here, and it is quite possible that as much as we have, if we can just mark it, as much as we have this smaller double top here which has a neckline there, price may bounce off of this level, which is a very strong level of support, and continue to move further up to that level that I spoke about, right? Anyway, from here let's head down to the H4 chart and see what's happening down there. On the H4 chart, I'm just gonna fix my channel somewhat, just bear with me guys. There we go, there we go, there we go. There goes our H4 chart. And again, to recap guys, remember that on the daily chart we spoke about how we have this huge double top in addition to the smaller double top over here, and we said that both structures point to price possibly moving further down to complete those particular structures, right? But here we are on the H4 chart. What do we see? On the H4 chart we can also see that we have another W structure here, which similarly has a neckline there, and we can see that it's rather the neckline of this W structure is more or less in line with this area over here, which is the neckline of that bigger W structure that we have on the weekly chart, if memory serves, right? But in as far as the H4 chart goes, we can see that right now we seem to be in a downward trend, more or less, right? And the H4 chart says that we should be looking for sell opportunities. However, I would not sell. I would not sell at this point in time due to those reasons that I've given you. Yeah, I don't see any actual buy or sell opportunities at this point in time. And what's likely to happen is that price may actually give us a stop hunt to the upside, and at that level, just above that structure, if I can just go back to the weekly chart, right, just above this structure over here, we may potentially look for those M structures, as I said, or triple tops or head and shoulders patterns.